Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We have here an assassination conducted by the Ukrainian Secret Services, Special Forces in Moscow. They killed a former official, Ukrainian official, who fled to Russia, and they labeled him, for good reason, I guess, a traitor. So by their law and the situation they are in, this guy, who was one of their officials, fled in another country, and as a consequence, they went to Moscow and shot him dead in the head. This is what happened. And they are very proud of themselves. I'm talking about the Ukrainians. Do you know where I'm going with this? Now, if the Ukrainians can do this to this guy, what makes you think that they will not expand the operation to others? And maybe to other states? Maybe to other states that they don't like? Maybe to other officials from other states that they don't like? It's always this risk, big risk, that once is like a bear, a man-eating bear, or human-eating bear, yeah. So that kind of bear that tastes the human flesh will try again and become more arrogant, and will try to, hunt humans, let alone deer or moose or elk or whatever. So the same is with this kind of institutions, that their role is to pop. Now, let me show you this article, and I'm going to ask this question. If the Ukrainians can do this, can the Russians do the same thing? Oh, let's see. So this article comes from the New Voice of Ukraine from December 7th, 2023. Traitors, so this is what the Ukrainians call. They say that's a traitor. They name that guy traitor, therefore will be hunted down even in Russia, warns presidential office. So what if this guy would have been, hiding, let's say, in the United States of America, or in, let's say, put it in London, England, and let's say London, or let's say the Great Britain, the British government would not extradite him. Were the Ukrainians, entitled to go and eliminate this guy in a park, like a dog, in London? Well, I guess if he's a traitor, yeah, no. Isn't that the logic these guys are using here? We said he's a traitor. We're gonna hunt these guys down, even in Russia, which is not that Russia is special, but hey, these guys probably are protected, so we're gonna go even there. So going to London would be much easier, don't you think? You know where I'm going with this? Yeah, I'm going towards those poisonings. Russian alleged poisonings of some that Russia considers, or considered, traitors. So if these guys are, decreed someone is a traitor and eliminated him, then any country can do the same thing to people that they deem and they label, assign, or pop, this is a traitor. And they can eliminate that person wherever they want. Therefore, Russia would have been, according to this, entitled to the same thing to those guys allegedly they poisoned? No. Why? Just because he's Russia? It doesn't matter if they're at war. They didn't say that. They say he's a traitor. So the label traitor was attached to this guy. So any country who labels someone a traitor and that person goes to another country and stays there, like in London, fair game? All right, let's read further a little bit here, because they're bragging about this. This is the guy who was shot in the head in a park. So the elimination of traitors hiding in Russia will become increasingly common, Ukrainian presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolyak said on national television on December 6, commenting on the death of Ilya Kiva, an ex-MP. So he was an MP, elected official, from the banned pro-Russian opposition platform for Life Party. So the Ukrainians who have democracy and freedom, they banned a party that they call it, say, pro-Russia. They call it that way. So they banned the opposition. This guy left the country, right? He was deemed a traitor, and then they killed him. So I'm quoting, Ukraine Security Services, SBU, and Military Intelligence, AGUR, have an efficient intelligence network inside the Russian Federation. Scare tactic, said Podolyak. They have lists of individuals who significantly aid Russia in harming Ukraine's civilian population. All individuals charged with treason should understand that Ukraine will not let any of them walk, according to Podolyak. You understand the message? Okay, and it says all of them, and I'm quoting, will receive what they deserve. All traitors, even those who left Ukraine in 2014, added Podolyak. So they go back in time, not only now, in 2014, after the coup, right? There will be legal, physical consequences for them as the war progresses. And he says, Ukraine SBU Security Service shot Kiva to death in Moscow Oblast during a special operation on December 6th on St. Nicholas. They are pagans or something, according to new voice sources in Ukrainian intelligence. And they say Kiva's bloodied body, bearing a notable head wound, was found in the park area of an elite club hotel. According to Russian propaganda outlets, the hotel employee who discovered the body immediately called an ambulance, but Kiva was reportedly already passed at the time. So, it says here, the Ukrainian Kiva fled to Spain prior to the full-scale war between Russia and Ukraine erupted and appeared in Russian propaganda broadcasts in Moscow, actively spreading misinformation about Ukraine, according to the Ukrainians, right? So the Ukrainians decreed that this guy spread misinformation, and they decided this is a traitor. So that gives the Russians the same right to say that this guy in London is a traitor, therefore he is supposed to do this, or right? No, I mean, if you want to be honest and you want to be fair, it's not much difference over there. I mean, it's just different names, different countries, and different times, different methods. And these guys are bragging about it. The Russians never admitted to that. So even that, these guys are saying it. Yes, we did it and we're proud of it because we did the right thing. But the other thing, those guys said we didn't do it. You did not allow our investigators to go over there. You didn't provide us with the evidence. You just did it on your own and then said guilty. All right. So, as it says, the Ukrainian parliament stripped Kiva of his MP mandate in 2022, charging him with treason. He was additionally charged with publicly calling for a violent change in the constitutional order and promoting the aggressive state propaganda. Now, he was sentenced in absentia to 14 years in prison on November 13. So they say that he was charged with publicly calling for a violent change in the constitutional order. What happened in 2014 on the Maidan? What happened in 2013? When the Westerners are calling, they call right now for regime change in Russia, they call it. Lindsey Graham, he called for Putin to be taken out. That's what he said, I'm quoting, taken out. An idiot senator who was voted in the office by 1.4 million people, if I remember correctly, in South Carolina. That's all. 1.4 million, if I remember correctly, or 1.2, one of the two. Doesn't really matter. So that guy called for the assassination on 2 occasions of a foreign leader, democratically elected, by, I don't know, 60 million people, 70 million people, 80 million people. He was voted in the office of a different country. Now, publicly, he said the removal by assassination. Should Russia be entitled to be proud of something like this? They never said anything about it. There were some who said it, but would that be acceptable? No, but according to the Ukrainians, and remember, that means a lot of things could be happening. No, you're my traitor. I decree that you're a traitor. The same. The Ukrainians decreed this guy is a traitor. He might be, and it's their problem. That's the way you do it. That means anyone can do it to you. Let's say tomorrow Ukraine considers, let's say, a blogger who according to them, spreads misinformation, is that blogger entitled to receive the same treatment? What if that blogger, I don't know, used to have Ukrainian citizenship? Or, I don't know, they don't like him, they say this is a traitor or something, they don't like him. Are they entitled? Because they will push it further. Nobody asked them, wait a minute, what's going on? No, they just did it. And they say they did it. All right, you understand the whole garbage here. I didn't hear any U.S. official condemning this. None. Imagine if things would be reversed. Remember how they still say Putin ordered those killings, those guys, that Russia, no, those guys were not really kosher, if you remember. The guys who, some of them unsuccessfully poisoned, which for me is such a garbage. There's no such a thing, my friends. Now Budanova, the wife of Budanov, again, unsuccessfully poisoned. There's no such a thing. There's no such a thing at that level. If you get that poison, you don't have the quantity necessary to... I mean, they can convince whomever. I will never be convinced by that. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.